that God has given to the institution of marriage, and even likening Jesus' relationship with the church, likening that to the holy, God-provided, God-given institution of marriage. In the book of Revelation, when the fullness of our salvation will be expressed, when the fullness of our salvation will come to pass, that particular day is put on, and it's metaphorical, as it were, as a wedding. It is when Jesus will present his bride to his Father. Okay? So then, anytime that we think about the fullness of the teaching of God, and I told Mother when she mentioned that I've been in several classes where that particular thing had been brought out, that, you know, it doesn't teach that the husband ought to love. Well, no, it doesn't teach it there, which is the more correct thing to say. But just understand this. Do you know the two greatest commandments Jesus said it is? The two greatest commandments?
Yeah, love him.
Thou shalt love the Lord thy God with all your heart, all your strength, all your right? And then Jesus says, and the next to that, the twin brother to that is right beside it. He says, love your neighbor as yourself. Okay, watch this. So then, no one should ever say that the wife is not commanded to love her husband. Because is Jesus the husband?
Right.
And are we not commanded to love him?
Yes. Yes.
Jesus said, if you love me, right, thou shalt love the Lord thy God. Is that right?
Yes.
Is Jesus God?
Yeah.
Okay, walk with me just a few minutes. So then, when it comes to how, and just understand, he has just instructed them. He says, and above all, he says, put on what? Love. Y'all remember that? Okay, which is the, you're right. So then, and to me, when people are actually teaching that, which we're not teaching that here, they are kind of flippantly, as it were, throwing something out there that really has no life in the life of a believer. Because, just understand this, the whole idea of this teaching here is that the family be engulfed in love. Okay? So then, but there is an order for the order here. There is an order for the order. So when he says that the wife so it's telling the wife that she ought to own her husband. Is that right?
Yeah.
What kind of husband is it? And it's messed up when you got a husband and you don't want to own him. Oh no, that's messed up. You got a wife and you don't want to own her? Oh, that's messed up. So your own husband as to the Lord. Now, what is the as to about? The as to is about the submitting. You get what I'm saying? He's saying, submit yourselves to your own husbands as your submission is to the Lord. Now, why do you submit to your Lord? I submit to him because I love him. I have a loving relationship with my Lord. I have a loving relationship. Submit yourselves as to the Lord. And he's talking about the submission. Well, look at the submission. For the husband, and he tells you why here. For the husband is the head, and there's another as. Y'all see that? The husband is the head of the wife, as Christ is head of the church. And he is the Savior of the body. So now watch this. Even in this verbiage, he's saying something about the family way. Okay? Your submission to your husband is as your submission is to Christ. It's a loving submission. It's a caring submission. Okay? It's a holy even submission. That submission ought to be like that to your husband. It ought to be a loving submission. And then he says, for the husband is the head like this. Okay? The husband is the head like this. Like Jesus is the head of the church. Okay? And as the head of the church, look at what he does. As the head of the church, Paul goes on to say that he is the Savior of the body. And if you are a husband, you ought to be a husband as Jesus. You ought to be the head. The same writer Paul talks about, he said, if a man won't get out there and earn a living for his family, he is worse than an infidel, and that's infidelity, that's unfaithful. He is worse than someone that is not saved, an unfaithful someone. If a man is not willing, and then the same writer goes on to say that if a man don't get out there and work, then he ought not